Hi there, everyone. Welcome to episode 904 of the Mike from Maine show, the place where we do daily interviews with successful online entrepreneurs. This is your host, Mike Thomas, and today on the show, we have Ray Lane on, and we're going to be talking about a powerful software that's going to allow you to syndicate your videos all over the internet, even make copies of some of the videos you've already created so that you can get even more leverage from them so that you can use them to drive more traffic to any place you want. Let's get into it. Here's Ray. We are here today with Ray Lane, otherwise known as Ray the Video Guy. Ray, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Mike Thomas or Mike from Maine. So we all have to have monikers. We're like marketing pro wrestlers here.
You know, I feel like if my name was just Mike Thomas, everyone would forget who I am. The whole Mike from Maine thing actually has something that people can remember me by. Ray, let's get right into it here. I'm going to go ahead and read off your headline for your sales page here so you can bring us in. It says here, software gets as much free traffic as you want with a few clicks of your mouse. Pretty generic headline here. Pretty like, that sounds great. A few clicks of my mouse with a bunch of traffic. But today it's your job to bring us in and tell us more about this and why we should be excited.
Yes. Well, and first of all, that headline will probably sound a little better by the time we actually launch, but okay. You get the basic idea of what it means there. And the idea here is that we want to get people traffic. And by traffic, we're talking clicks to your website or even views to your video, whatever traffic means to you. Is it, more opt-ins on an opt-in page? Is it more people to a YouTube video? Is it more people going to your sales page or affiliate page or whatever it happens to be? And the way we do that is through the use of videos. And of course, for those of you that use videos at all, which is probably, I would assume most of the people here use videos in some form or fashion in their marketing, videos are a very easy way to get yourself ranked, to get yourself traffic, and to get people to take an action. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that you could get traffic by using videos and leveraging them to the best possible way. And so that's what we've put together here is a software that, to put it simply, imagine right now you wanted to get traffic to your website. And so you built a video saying, hey, check out my new software. Click here. Now you get that video out onto YouTube. You got to go in, you got to put it up, you got to type in your keywords, you got to make sure that it's SEO'd properly, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then what do you have to do? Well, you've got it on YouTube. Well, there's a lot of people on Dailymotion. So now you got to go and you got to do the same thing on Dailymotion. And then you got to do the same thing on Vimeo. And you got to do the same thing here. And you got to do the same thing there. And so what we wanted to do was to bring back the idea of syndication. So where you go to one place, you upload your video once, you put in all of your SEO stuff inside that video, and then the software automatically sends it out to your YouTube channels, to your Dailymotion site, to your Vimeo, all these different video sites, so that you don't have to do this 100 times. You do it once, you hit go, and it's going to send them out there for you. And so that's kind of what we've put together. And I apologize. It
sounds like we've got some craziness going on in the background there.
We do. We've got construction guys here, and so the dogs aren't too happy. So I apologize for that.
No problem at all. Let me say this. If I was going to give this a hypey name, I would probably call it something like, I don't know, Video Traffic Clone Army or something.
Yes, that's Video Mass Syndicator, something like that.
That's what it is. It's you're going out there and you're syndicating out, you're cloning these videos, and you're able to use them instead of just like working once and creating one video and just putting it out there. You can actually take the work that you've done and put it out there so that you have more opportunities for traffic. You're working smarter and not harder. And that's what got me excited about this. I've actually wanted to be able to do this myself, but I'm too lazy to do it. Like, I know that it would be a good thing to do, and I know that there's been other software out there that was meant to do this, but maybe didn't really work as well as we wanted it to. And I'm hoping that yours, as you're going to show us today, will actually finally do the job that I should be doing myself.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Years ago, there was actually a company that did this. I don't want to mention any names. It was a great software, and it had the word traffic in it. You guys can guess from there if you've been around a while. It was a tremendous software that kind of did this. It allowed you to upload your video once and then syndicate it out. But what happened with them is they kind of changed their focus, and then they didn't really update that software, and they kind of went a different direction. And that was something that I used to use every single day with every single video. And for a long time, I didn't have anything to do that. And so we kind of, like you said, when we wanted to really do it, we did it ourselves. And, we did other things. We did all the other SEO stuff and kind of ignored that part of it for a long time. But I remember it being a very powerful tool for getting traffic, for ranking videos, for bringing people to, your websites and sales sites and things like that. And so what we did was we came up with basically, I don't want to say it's a clone of that because it actually is quite different, but the scope of it is very similar. And we'll show you why it's different in a minute, because we've actually got some features in there that when the developers said we could do this, I was like, whoa, mind blown with some of this. So
let me ask you this. In theory, it sounds great, like create a video once and then syndicate it out there and get more from that one video. But do you have any proof for us today? Do you have any case studies? Have you actually been doing this yourself? Anything you can tell us about?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done this, and there's on the sales page, we've got some images on there that kind of show some of these. And we should have a video too that was put together that kind of shows you some of this. But basically, in the case study, and this is something that we'll show you in a second because this is a unique feature of this. In the case study, what they were doing was they were going for ranking. In this case, it was a rug cleaner. Yes, it was a carpet cleaner company. And they were ranking for a video in one local market. And so what they did was they brought the video into the software, and then, and this is what's really cool about this software, and I'll show you that in a second. If you're doing something that's locally based, there's actually a map feature in there, and you can put the city that you're trying to target. So if you're trying to target New York City or Houston or whatever, you would put Houston in there, and you hit a button, and all of a sudden on the map will be all these pinpoints. And what it does is it gathers all the communities around Houston and then takes your video. So for instance, you upload one carpet cleaning video and your goal is to put it out for Houston carpet cleaner. Well, it pulls in all these different cities around Houston. And I apologize, I don't know what those cities are. I'm just throwing Houston out there. And then it will take that video and it'll make clones of that video. Now, each of those videos will be slightly different from a technical standpoint, so they won't be the same file. They'll actually regenerate the file so that it's slightly different, so YouTube can't go, hey, we've already uploaded this. And so what it does is it then puts that video out, and in your SEO where you said Houston carpet cleaner, and then in your description you said Houston carpet cleaner, every time you said Houston, it'll switch to a different city and upload a video. So if one of the cities around Houston was, South Houston, sorry for folks from Texas, I have no idea if there's a South Houston.
They're fuming right now.
Yeah, I know, right? But if there's a South Houston, then what it would do is it would upload Houston carpet cleaner, but then it would upload the video again, this time targeting South Houston. And then if there's a North Houston, it'll target North Houston. So now you got 3 videos. And, I say 3, quite honestly, almost any city you put in, you're going to come back with 10, 20, 30 different cities around there that you can target. And the idea is, if somebody's a carpet cleaner in Houston, that they travel out to all these communities around there. And so you're going to now be able to get traffic from all of those different areas, including Houston. And the reality is, obviously, Houston is going to be a very difficult word to rank for, but maybe South Houston isn't. You can start getting traffic quicker. And the idea behind all this is when you build all this together, then, the rising the rising tide lifts all boats, and you're going to start getting traffic from all of these different areas. And that's why we call it Traffic Trigger.
Yeah, you can start probing all these different areas as well. And if you're able to rank, you find out there's an area, whether it's a keyword or, so if you're doing like keyword marketing, if you're doing like make money online or weight loss or whatever, you can find out keywords that you can rank for. If you're doing local marketing, then you can find out different locations that maybe are going to be easy to rank for. So, I mean, there's different people that this could be good for. Cool. I like that. That's a really cool
Yeah,
feature there.
and one thing I do want to mention based off of that. Now, I used city because I think that map feature is really cool, but you don't have to do it based on a map. So obviously, you could do the same thing with, let's say we did a make money online. You could change make money to cash, to thousands, to something else, and do the exact same thing. So make money online, make cash online, make thousands a day online, whatever it is you want, you can change those variables like that. I just think the map feature is cool because it looks cool, but you can do that with almost any type of keyword. It's almost like spinning a little bit. It's a little bit different. We do actually integrate a spinner in there if people want to as well. So if you've got an article, you can actually do traditional spinning of that article that's on the video, but you don't have to use that. And this is similar to the way that a spinner kind of works.
Bring us inside, Ray. Let's take a look at how this works.
All right, we're going to take you on the inside. Let's see if I can do this correctly here. Share screen, and there we go. Hey, that's easy. All right, tell me when you got it on there.
We don't have it yet.
All right, should be coming. Hopefully it's coming.
Oh, wait. There we go. We got it.
All right, so what we're looking at here is the dashboard, and when we start to do a project, now obviously this is a fairly new account. You can see I've got 22 accounts up at the top here that are accounted for in here. I've got 4 projects going on this one, and I've posted 11 out of 11 are already posted at this point. Okay, so you can kind of see some of that here. But what we really want to get into is projects. Now, the way a project works, and I doubt you can read this. It's probably really small, but I've got one here for Pittsburgh Roofer and San Diego Roofer and Lake Elsinore Roofer, and so the way this works is as we come into one of these accounts, so I'm going to come into the San Diego Roofer account, and you'll see that we've got accounts, we've got edit, and we've got delete. And if I hit edit, this allows me to put in a name and a description for it. Now, this is for your purposes only, just so you see that there. And when we come into accounts, we will see, as soon as it loads here, that we've got some social media accounts. We've got Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn on here. And then for bookmarking accounts, we've got all the popular bookmarking sites. For blog posts, we've got blog sites in here. For documents, we have document sites. And for video, we have our video sites. And so what we want to do is, if we're going to create a new project or we're going to edit a project, in this case, I'm just going to hit edit. Okay, oops, nope, that's not the edit that I want though, sorry. What we want to do is we want to go to publish, not accounts for that. So when we go over here, we're going to go to publish, and I'm going to hit video. And so inside here, now you can see this is the schedule here. You can see these videos have been scheduled, and I can see that this one here, for whatever reason on Tumblr, it says postponed, so we'll want to check that later. But you can see it's scheduled to publish all of these videos on all these video sites here. Okay, so what we want to do is we can come in here and we can either publish something that's scheduled, or we can edit this, or we can create a new account on here. So again, if we come in here and we hit edit, now this is where the fun part comes in. So this part here is very similar to the way YouTube works. So you've got your title, you've got your description, and you've got your tags down here. Now you'll notice, and again, I know this is really small, so it may be difficult to see. What I've highlighted here says cities, and it's in 2 brackets. And what that is that's our spin, okay? So in this case, we said this one was the San Diego Roofer. So what I did was I'm going to come in, I'm going to create a new shortcut so you can kind of see the way this works. Inside of shortcuts, we have manual, we have by zip code, and we have on map. So on map is kind of the fun one. So I'm going to call this one, this time I'm going to call it towns just to distinguish. Really makes no difference there. Now values, you don't put anything into values because that's what the software is going to put in there for you. And what we do now is we choose a radius. So in this case, we're going to do San Diego again. And we're going to put in a radius of 10 miles. So now if I hit search on map, you'll see that we suddenly we're in San Diego and we've got all these different pinpoints here. Okay. And now if we come up here, you'll see there is a South San Diego apparently. That's good to know.
You picked the wrong city. If you had picked San Diego, you would have been all set.
Yeah, I know, right? But we've got all these Imperial Beach and Fruitdale and Harborside and Castle Park and I live near here. I've never heard of half of these, but I live a little bit north, so I'm not surprised, and I haven't lived here that long. But look at all these cities in here that it pulled up. I'm not sure how many that is, but that's got to be about 30 right there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So what would happen now is, as we create this, we would come in here, and we've got this SEO'd where it says cities roofer, how to find the best roofer for your blank home. And so we've got cities in here. Now I can change this to the new one, which is towns. And up at the top here, you'll see there's a shortcut here that says towns now. So if I wanted to change this to towns, I would just click that button there. And so now what's going to happen is, instead of just uploading one video to YouTube, let's say, or one video to Dailymotion, it's going to upload 30 videos to all of your video sites.
Oh, wow.
And each video is going to be different. One's going to say San Diego. One's going to say South San Diego. One's going to say whatever the other city it happened to be. And then down here, you can do the same thing with your tags. So in the tags, I've got cities in bracket, roofer, roofer, cities in bracket, roofing, cities in bracket, etc. And then normally right here, it would say upload video. We've already uploaded the video, so it's already in here. And if you've got the ability to put thumbnails on your YouTube accounts, you can actually upload thumbnails for it. If not, you can have them randomly generated, which is fine for most cases. And then down here, we've got this lovely preview button. And again, I apologize if you're unable to open preview. Ha, figures, right? I'm going to have an issue now. Maybe I need to save it first. Oh, I see. I've got 38. Oh, it's complaining because I've got towns and cities and they're the same. So I'm confusing it by doing the same thing twice there. So I apologize for that. Okay. I probably should have started a new one. But what you can do is the preview button here will actually preview it when I'm not putting the same thing in there twice. It'll actually show you a generated page of what it'll look like, and then you can hit refresh and it'll show you the next page.
Okay.
And then in here at the bottom, we also have second tier links. Now, if we click on this, and again, I'll tell it to fix it. All right. Let's get rid of our towns here because it's getting mad at me for that. We'll get rid of these. We'll call this ABC just so it doesn't complain to me anymore. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So you can see we can put in any value you want. So now if we do preview, it should work.
It's not liking me today, Ray.
Well, no, it's liking me. It's not liking what I did here by messing around with the project, apparently. So what I should have done is...
Do you want to cancel it? Do you want to cancel it and not mess with it?
Yeah, I probably should do that anyway. But actually, yeah, let me hit cancel and see if that helps. So you know what I'll do is I'll actually come to this other project that I haven't messed with yet. And that'll probably save us a little. So my apologies there, folks. All right, so now we've got this one here. This time we've got the Lake Elsinore area. Now you can see this is actually the same video. So now if we hit preview, you can see it actually pulls up the preview. Okay. I'm not confusing it. And you can see here it pulls up all the towns in here. So this one here is a town called, or an area called Terracotta. And if I hit refresh, now it says Canyon Lake, and that's in the description as well. And that's also in the description
I like
there.
that. It actually moves it around. It even changes the file name.
It does, and let me show you what I mean by that.
And that's important for all you SEO people out there.
Yeah. So what happens is you're going to upload your file, and it might be called, generic roofer video. Mm-hmm. But in here, you can actually choose when it's going to output that final video. You can give a name to that file. And so in this case, I've got the cities in brackets -roofer.mp4. So every time it uploads, when it uploads it to YouTube the first time, it's going to be Lake Elsinore roofer. Then when it uploads it to the next YouTube, it might say Terracotta MP4, Terracotta roofer. So it will change that each and every time as well. So all of those changes. Have you heard of anyone having
any problems with like YouTube not liking this, like not liking?
No, and we actually did put a limit on this. Which those guys really, the actual developer, he put a limit on that. So in other words, let's say you've got 20 videos. Mm-hmm. It won't let you put that one video 20 times on one YouTube account. It'll actually limit you to 5.
Okay.
And the reason for that is the only issue YouTube has, and this is actually from their playbook. There's a YouTube playbook that they put out. And they say in there that technically speaking, you're not supposed to upload the same video more than once because it'll say, hey, you've already uploaded this video. But in their playbook, they say if you need to do that, change the file size or make some slight difference. And that's exactly what this software does. So the first time it uploads, it might be a 16 meg file. The next time it might be a 17 meg file. So to YouTube, it's a unique video, but they still put a limit there of 5 per YouTube channel.
Just so you don't abuse it.
Yeah, because you don't want to abuse it, and the more you put onto one channel, the more possibility. I'm guessing. I'm not a coder, so I'm guessing on this part, but I'm guessing you start to do more and more on the same channel. There's probably at some point it's gonna maybe repeat itself and say, hey, you've already uploaded this once you get to 10 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so he limited it to 5 to make sure that you don't run into those kinds of issues.
Okay.
And so, and then we can look at the second tier links. So if we come into the second tier links, this is where you can upload it to LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Twitter. And by the way, the second tier links, this is an upsell. So if you want to just distribute videos, that's the main product. But the upsell allows you to distribute it now to social bookmarking sites.
This is one of the OTOs. So thank you for making that disclaimer there. And we'll later on in the interview, guys, we'll go over just maybe very clearly. I just want to make sure nobody gets confused by that and go, hey, wait a minute. So this is, it's something for the power users. If you want to upload your videos and then you want to be able to backlink them right inside there, that's what this upsell does. So you've got bookmarks here. So you've got like Bitly and Delicious and Diego and Instapaper, blah, blah, blah. And so it's going to go through and it's going to social bookmark your videos at the same time. And then there's also a blog post module. If you want to embed it into blog posts, you can do that in here as well. And as you can see, I don't even have a lot of the blog sites set up yet in this one. So, but I've got 3 of them set up because that's 3 that I happen to have accounts to, because you do need to have an account for everything you're going to upload it to, obviously. So that's the one thing if you don't have accounts, my secret is go to Fiverr. Somebody on Fiverr. You can get a ton of accounts made for like $5 on there.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I do most of the time is I go there and I say, create me just these accounts, and they'll go through and they'll make them for you. So it's very easy to do that. And the one cool thing I do want to make sure that you guys understand with this, and let's cancel out of this for a second. When you publish this, we'll save this out here. So when you publish this out, you can publish to more than one YouTube account. So actually we got to select an account here, but and I've already published this, so I'm not going to be able to send it out again. It's going to tell me I already did. But so for instance, let's say you've got 10 different YouTube accounts. Well, you can put in your 10 YouTube accounts. You don't have to have just one of anything. You can have 10 YouTube accounts and 5 Vimeo accounts and whatever it happens to be. And then that way you can distribute. And each project can actually have a different set of accounts. So for instance, if you've got an account for roofers, or you've got an account for Make Money Online, when you do a new video in that Make Money Online, you may want to send it out to all the same YouTube channels and all the same blogger accounts. But maybe when you're doing, cat training or dog training, you may want to have different YouTube accounts that it's going to. Yeah. And so you can set it up that way. So each project has different accounts that it goes to, if that makes life easier for you.
You could have a ton. You could have a ton of YouTube accounts and just. You talked about having a limit of putting it to like 5 times on a channel, but you could actually. That's just on one channel. You could send that. But that's
one channel. Okay, yes, cool. Absolutely. So if you've got 10 videos and you've got 5 YouTube channels, you can spread it out that way. So each one can take a couple of them and spread it out in that manner. And of course, same thing with Vimeo. You can have more than one Vimeo, more than one Daily Motion. I think I've got 2 Daily Motions on one of my projects in here, and I've got like 3 YouTubes and things like that. So, and obviously once I really set this up, because the hard part is making sure that you get all those things in there, you can really start to have a lot of accounts and a lot of places you can send these to.
I mean, that's when it gets exciting, when you can send it out to all these different places with just a click. And you guys talk about traffic. I mean, once you send it out there and you've got links out on different YouTube channels and links out there, I mean, you can start seeing what ranks. And it's with if you make one video and you put it out there, you're not going to get a lot of views and a lot of traffic. It's just the way things are. But if you put it out there in a lot of different places, you're going to eventually, not all your videos are going to be like ranking on page 1, but you are eventually going to hit some gold. It's like mining for gold.
Absolutely. And in the old days, I used to do a lot of YouTube marketing for local businesses. And I don't know if I can probably shut this off now, so not just staring at the same screen the whole time. But So when I used to do a lot of local marketing, like we used to, as one of my partners used to say, we used to barf videos all over the web. And what I mean by that is we had, for instance, when we first got started years ago, we had an attorney client, and we would shoot 50 videos with her. And I'm not talking about one video duplicated 50 times. I mean, we would shoot 50 videos, and then each of those videos we would put out to a whole bunch of YouTube channels. And within the course of a week, we'd be spreading out like 1,000 videos. And we had to do it kind of manually at the time. So we had to literally take that one video and make 10 copies of it and make them slightly different. So we'd spend all day just making all these copies and then uploading them to all the different YouTube channels. And it took a lot of time. And we're talking, one project like that would take us most of the week. We'd be working on that one thing for a week. And now what you would do is, even if you wanted to shoot 10 videos with a client, you would upload the first, second, third, 10 videos individually into here, and it would distribute it out, all of them at the click of a button. So it's going to save you literally a ton of time by doing that. And, technically speaking, you're only dealing with 10 videos versus in my case, I was dealing with quite literally 1,000 videos because we duplicated each one multiple times, and so.
It doesn't sound like fun, right?
No, it's not. It was very effective, but it wasn't very fun, and it took forever. So,
talk to me. We started talking a little bit about the OTOs. Let's go through those now. So on the front end, I know that there's a little bit of limits there. Let's be clear about what those are going to be, and then let's go through the OTOs.
Yeah, and I do want to be clear about that because it can sound a little bit confusing at first. So what we've got is we've got two different options. You can buy on the light end or you can buy on the high end. On the light end, you're going to get 100 projects. Now, what I mean by a project is your one dog video is one project. If you distribute that out to a whole bunch of sites, it's still one project. Okay. So, for instance, with 100 projects, you could be distributing out to 500 places or however many it is. And then on the higher end, we give you 250 projects. And again, same thing. One video is one project, not. So in other words, if you take one video, you distribute it out to YouTube and Vimeo and Dailymotion, that's not 3, that's 1 because it's one video. Okay. And I just want to make sure that's clear. And I think if you were to use all 250 projects in there, you'd be distributing out like 3,750 videos. So it's a lot. And I calculated my usage, and right now I think 250 for me would probably last about 8 months or so, based on the number.
I mean, there's probably some people out there that are power users, and they're going, okay, that might not be enough for me. I mean, are there options for them? Like, should they pick up a couple copies?
If and when you use them up, you can recharge it and add more. So it's kind of works on that basis. So if originally they were thinking it was going to be just a monthly fee, but what we decided was, honestly, if somebody's going to get X number of videos and X number of projects, why should they have to pay monthly if they're not even going to use them for a period? It might take them 3, 4, 5, 6 months to use them. I mean, some people might take 2 years to use all of those. Why charge them monthly for that? Let's charge them based on the number that they use. And if they're power users, they're going to be seeing results and they're going to want to buy more and get more in there anyway. But for people that are doing, even if you're doing one video every single day, that's going to last you a long time. You figure that's only 30 videos in a month. And even on the low end, that's over 3 months worth of videos. Now, I don't know about you, Mike. I might do one video a day, possibly. Yeah. And, at least that would be distributed anyway. So
cool. Okay. So that's the front end. That's how that's going to work there. What's the first OTO?
The first OTO opens up the blogging accounts. And we purposely, I want to kind of explain this. We purposely did them in this order because it kind of builds on the other one. So the first OTO is you can add on blog accounts if you want. That'll allow you to do two things. You can embed your videos into the blogs automatically and then distribute the blogs out to the blogging sites. Or you can just use the blogging itself and just distribute blogging sites out there. If you're just writing an article, it'll actually send out that too, regardless of whether you're using a video. You can still send out just blogging articles. And then the third tier or the third OTO is the backlinking.
Wait. So wait, was that the first one or the second one that you talked about?
Sorry, second. Yes, I'm going out of order.
That was the first one.
It's the third product, the second OTO.
Okay, second OTO.
So the second OTO is your bookmarking or your backlinking. And that's going to go back, and whether you're doing blogs or whether you're doing the videos, it's going to go back and it's going to social bookmark those and build that up. And for those of you who may be wondering about the social bookmarking aspect of things, maybe you've heard of that before, maybe you've seen it before. I actually did a case study accidentally, believe it or not, about a year and a half ago. And what happened was I had uploaded a video. It was actually selling a product called Profit Pirate. Mm-hmm. And now, obviously, the term Profit Pirate is not going to be a very hotly contested keyword on Facebook. Google, that's the word I'm looking for, Google. And so what I did was I had put this video up, and I noticed that about 3 days later, I'm like, boy, this thing is just not ranking at all. What's going on here? And so I went over and I looked at some things, and I realized I didn't do my normal social bookmarking. And so I said, you know what, this might be a good case study. So I recorded a video. I said, hey, I made this video. I put it up. It wasn't ranking. So I'm going to do social bookmarking on it to see what kind of difference it makes, because I forgot to do it at the time, which is probably why it's not ranking. And so I ran it through, at the time, it was a site called OnlyWire, which kind of does the same thing. It takes your content and it social bookmarks it to a bunch of different social bookmarking sites. 5 minutes later, and I swear to you, 5 minutes, that video was #1 on page 1. And it was nowhere to be found on Google after 3 days. I did the social bookmarking, and 5 minutes later, it was not only just on page 1, it was #1 on page 1. Granted, probably not the hardest keyword to do that with, but in this case, that's a good thing, because it allowed me to see the power of the social bookmarking, which, if it was a tough keyword, it probably would have taken a lot longer to do that. But it just showed that social bookmarking has a big effect on video ranking and on ranking of anything, really, but in this case, video ranking. So it's that's kind of our second OTO, our third tier on that, is to add the social bookmarking to all of that.
So that's an optional upgrade there for anyone that wants to be able to give their videos a little bit of an oomph and help them to rank in the search engine. And I think that would be especially good if you've got one that maybe is already starting to rank a little bit, and it's on maybe the first page but near the bottom, and you want to give it a little bit of a nudge up towards the top there. Then you can use these links to do that. Okay, so that's the
and actually let me add one thing to that too, and that's something important to bring out here. Let's say that you start a project and you distribute it out you upload your video, you distribute it out to the video sites. Mm-hmm. If you come back later and decide to do bookmarking, you're not doing a new project, so this doesn't count against you. You just go in, your video's already there, you just distribute it out to whatever else you want to do. It doesn't count against your projects. And I just want to make sure everyone understands that. You don't have to re-upload the video and then it counts against you. It's already there. It's already one project. So cool. Just to make that clear.
No, that's good. Thank you for that. You've got one last OTO.
Yes, that is for people that are looking for some videos to be able to distribute out there. I have a large amount of videos that are all mostly local based. So plumbers, doctors, lawyers, things like that. So for people that are looking for local marketing, they want to make money by selling to local businesses or getting leads for local businesses, things like that. We actually have two packages. We've got one package with 40 local videos, and then we've got a club which has right now, I don't even know how many it's got in there total. It's over 200 now that we have in there. And so you get access to all of those, and you'll be able to start a local marketing business. And there's a few other things in there besides just local marketing. There's a video marketer. So there's videos for your business, SEO provider, things like that. So if you're a web designer, it's got some of those things in there, as well as the plumbers, doctors, and lawyers. And so that's kind of the third OTO, is for anybody looking for videos to distribute out.
Talk to me about this, Ray. If you were going to recommend to someone that's picking this up, like the fastest way that they could use this and see some results, and hopefully those results meaning maybe some way of making some money with this, what would you tell a person? Like they don't need to necessarily make $1 million, but they just want to see their first results so that they can be like, okay, this actually works. Like these guys aren't full of it. Like, what would you tell them to do?
There's a few different things you could do with that. And one that I actually tried a little while back for fun, because I was dealing a lot with local businesses, and I know not everybody's into dealing with local businesses, but one thing that I thought of, and what I was doing was I was taking, let's say, insurance, and I would upload a video, and then I would try to sell the video to a local insurance company. Mm-hmm. And I said, gosh, it's such a pain in the neck to go chase these guys down and try to get them to buy it. And, that's not me. I need a sales guy to go out and do that. If it's going to get done, it's not going to be me doing that. But I said, if I've got this insurance video up here, what can I do with that until somebody buys it, or instead of somebody going out and buying it? And I realized that, some of you guys are probably familiar with what's called CPA. Mm-hmm. And what CPA is cost per action. Well, a lot of the CPA stuff is insurance, home remodelers, roofers, things like that. And so what I did was I started to take videos that I had, for instance, a roofing video, and I would upload it in a town, and I would rank it in that town, and then link the call on there to the CPA. And so I didn't have to deal with a local person now, because when they saw that video on page 1 for in my case, maybe Morgan, Utah, which is a small town. Well, now I've got it connected to somebody they can contact, but it's just a CPA company. And so I can just sit back and collect my money for that. Now, do you make a ton of money off of that? It depends on the city, and it depends on the offer that the CPA company has, but you can certainly make money, and you can make money very quickly doing that. And on top of that, you always have the option of later going out and finding somebody that can take that offer. And then, you could find a local business willing to pay you instead, but you can do CPA on that, make some money while you're waiting for somebody to take over, or even instead of somebody taking over. And you could do that all day long. I don't even know how many cities there are in the US and Canada. And, there's got to be thousands and thousands that you could do. And potentially you could just go city to city and keep doing it and start making money in that way. So that's kind of a different way, one that I kind of discovered almost by accident, really.
Yeah, if you were going to do it the old-fashioned way, the way that you used to do, that would be pretty time-intensive. But now with this software, it's easy to go out there and to attack different places. You don't even have to be in that place. Any place
absolutely. You don't need to be
the world. Cool, Ray. Thank you again so much for coming on the show today. Is there anything else, anything that we missed, anything you wanted to mention before we wrap it up?
Yeah, the only thing I want to mention on that again is, because me and my focus, I always keep saying local cities, but this is for anything where you're going to be distributing out a video. So if you're selling an Amazon product, this is a great way to do that with video. If you're selling a JV Zoo product, some sort of affiliate product that way. If you've got your own product you're selling, if you're even going back to the local, let's say you're trying to sell your services to the local businesses as opposed to directly trying to get leads for them, this is a way to do that. So it really, the possibilities are endless. It's all about traffic. Anything that you're trying to get traffic to, you can have a video for, and you can distribute the video and start getting traffic. And that's basic. That's why we went with Traffic Trigger. You notice, technically speaking, it doesn't even say video in the title of the product. And because it's much more focused about traffic, and video just happens to be one of the ways that we get traffic.
Again, Ray, thank you so much for coming on the show, and best of luck with your dogs and your kitchen and your launch.
Yes, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And it does start on Saturday morning, so it's one of those rare Saturday opens. So hopefully we'll see how that goes and see if people are excited and around on Saturday morning. So we'll find out.
We'll wake them up. Thanks again, Ray.
All right, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the interview today with Ray. If you are interested in picking up Traffic Trigger at its lowest price, you're going to want to come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, March 18th. You're going to be able to get it at its lowest early bird price, along with my special bonuses. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.